Hello everyone and welcome to my Bachelor Nation official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and gives this video a thumbs up. During the first Bachelor in Paradise Season 10 rose ceremony, Izzo delivered her rose to Dale Moss, but will they leave the show together? Kat and Jonathan Johnson hit it off on their first day in Costa Rica, but she was overjoyed when Dale came on the second day. Dale admitted in his confessional that he was intrigued by Kat. Dale chose Kat to accompany him on the first Bachelor in Paradise Season 10 date, which took place aboard a catamaran. They had a fantastic talk and kissed. They appeared to be building a deep bond. Kat awarded Dale a rose during the first rose ceremony, but did they depart paradise engaged or dating? Kat, 28, began her Bachelor Nation journey during Zach Shallcross Bachelor season. She later appeared on Bachelor in Paradise Season 9, where she became engaged to John Henry Spurlock. However, they ended their relationship shortly after the show's finale aired. Kat is again back in paradise, continuing her hunt for love. Despite being portrayed as a villain throughout her seasons, Kat has a heart of gold. Dale, 36, proposed to Claire after only 12 days of dating on The Bachelorette Season 16 in July 2020. Claire finished her season early, and Adams took over as the leader. Dale and Claire had a brief breakup in January 2021, but soon reconciled. However, they broke their relationship permanently in September 2021. Dale is returning to Bachelor in Paradise for Season 10. According to Reality Steve, Kat and Dale are still together after Bachelor in Paradise Season 10, although they are not engaged. Dale and Kat continued to exchange roses at every rose ceremony and did not date anyone else. When they left Bachelor in Paradise Season 10, they were still dating. It's fantastic to hear Kat and Dale didn't get engaged, since it shows that they both learned from their previous relationships when they rushed into engagements. It makes reasonable that they would rather give their relationship time to develop before making a proposal. It's wonderful to hear that Kat and Dale found happiness with one another during Bachelor in Paradise Season 10. They've both been on roller coaster rides during their time on Bachelor Nation, but they haven't given up on finding love. After Episode 1, they appeared to have a really strong relationship, and it will be intriguing to see how it grows stronger. Hopefully, Kat and Dale will be happy ever after. From the moment the sun rose over the Costa Rican coastline on the second day of Bachelor in Paradise Season 10, a shift could be felt across the beach. Day 1 had its typical highs and lows, introductions, flirtation, cocktails, and first impressions, but Day 2 brought with it a Bachelor Nation heavyweight, Dale Moss. The energy in the air pulsed differently. Eyes turned. Conversations halted. Hearts skipped. She had spent the first day getting to know Jonathan Johnson, a sweet and sincere man with an easy smile and a charming nervousness that reminded her of her earliest days on The Bachelor. Their conversation had been surprisingly deep, full of vulnerability and warmth. She had even described it to the producers as weirdly nostalgic, like I was back in high school writing names in a notebook. But when Dale stepped down those stairs with his signature grin and smooth confidence, Kat's past, present, and possible future all seemed to collide. She froze. Her hands trembled slightly around her margarita glass. Here was a man who had once represented the fastest engagement in franchise history, a man she'd admired from afar. He was tall, poised, with that kind of charisma you couldn't bottle. She tried to play it cool. "Oh, hey Dale," she said, her voice slightly higher than usual. Dale, ever perceptive, caught the shift in tone. He smiled. "Kat, right? You were on Zach's season, yeah?" It was simple, but electrifying. And by the end of that afternoon, Dale asked her on the first date of the season, a private catamaran cruise that would later be described by host Jesse Palmer as the most romantic early date we've ever had on the show. Kat didn't hesitate to accept. Jonathan, understandably, was crestfallen. Not a place where you carry the weight of online hate like luggage you can't unpack. Still, there were skeptics. Some fans posted comments arguing that being on reality TV opened people up to criticism. "If you don't want feedback, don't go on national television," read one particularly viral tweet. But Hannah didn't back down. She responded to that tweet directly, writing, "Feedback is saying you didn't like someone's decision. Abuse is telling someone to end their life over it. Know the difference." Kat's journey through season 10 was one of redemption, not because she changed who she was, but because the narrative around her shifted. She found companionship in the most unlikely place, with Brian Reese, a low-key contestant from Charity Lawson's Bachelorette season who had flown under the radar until now. Brian was calm, emotionally intelligent, and deeply empathetic. He didn't see Kat through the lens of her villain edit. He saw her for who she was, flawed, passionate, and trying to heal. One morning, just before sunrise, the two sat side by side on a driftwood bench near the shore. Kat picked at a coconut half, her gaze drifting toward the waves. "You know," she said softly, "there were nights I stayed up crying, wondering if I was truly that horrible. Like, maybe the world saw something in me I was too blind to see." Brian reached for her hand. "Kat," he said gently, "I watched your season before I even knew I'd end up here. And sure, there were moments where I didn't get your choices. But never once did I think you were evil. Passionate people get loud. They love hard. You're not a villain. You're human." His words felt like a balm to her soul. Slowly, Kat began to open up, not just to Brian, but to the idea that she could be more than the worst version of herself captured on screen. She began journaling again, practicing daily meditations with the resort's wellness coach, and even led a sunset reflection session with other castmates to talk about emotional resilience. And then, silence. Bachelor Nation thrives on post-show visibility. Without a steady stream of content, the audience grows suspicious. Were they hiding cracks in the relationship? Were they even together? By May, grand solo Instagram stories from Houston gym sessions and business meetups seemed to confirm what many suspected: they weren't building a life together. They were trying to uphold a brand. And that's perhaps the most disappointing part of their story. The Bachelor franchise, for all its ups and downs, still manages to produce some genuine love stories. From Trista and Ryan to Sean and Catherine, and more recently Joey and Kelsey or Charity and Doughton, the show has shown it can work when both parties are truly committed. Grant and Juliana never felt like that. They felt like two people trying to fulfill a contract. The second proposal that Juliana supposedly requested became a symbolic nail in the coffin. Rather than being a romantic gesture, it felt transactional, something to satisfy Bachelor Nation expectations rather than a natural step in their love story. Thanks for watching. If you likes this video, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and do not miss any update.